Which app is so useful that you cannot believe it's free? Office Lens. I guess there's other apps out there that do the same, but it means I no longer need a scanner. When I was a student, I could use it to take photos of whiteboards and it took the glare off and sharpened up the writing. It saved me from many hours of scrolling down illegible notes. Notepad++, it's a beast for both programming and processing large amount of data. Lifesaver, I've used this to, relatively, easily find a fucked up record in a 15 meters plus RAW file. Skyview isn't exactly useful, but it's incredibly interesting. What does it do? By using the camera on your phone you can view constellations in the sky, locations of planets/stars and satellites. Just aim the camera and it will show the constellations in real time. It's an interesting app. Round. It's an app that tracks your medications for you. Completely free, and it keeps tabs on what medications you take, gives you a notification when it's time to take them, and also keeps track of how many pills you have left, and notifies you when you're getting low. Super useful for someone who has multiple medications that I have to take at different times of the day, including one that I have to take half an hour before I eat anything, and also for someone who easily forgets to order refills. Anki, a flashcard program that uses spaced repetition and supports a mind-boggling amount of methods for making cards. Edit, unfortunately, desktop and Android are the free versions, but iOS is paid, in case you iPhone users are curious about getting it. The Android version is called Anki Droid on the Play Store. Edit 2, for those that can't or don't want to purchase the iOS version, /u/Astralgeman pointed out that people using Apple devices can use Anki Web through their web browser without having to purchase and install the iOS app. As a medical student, Anki was my lifeblood during preclinical years. Also great for IT certification studies. Chronometer, best food tracking app I've had. How does it compare to MyFitnessPal? Anything making it worth switching, or are they about the same? From what I recall back when I did the research between the two, Chronometer has more free features / the paid version is cheaper. Tiny scanner, scan everything as images or PDFs. Office Lens is better tbh. I have ScanBot. Duolingo, granted it's maybe not what Rosetta Stone is, but that's quickly made up for how Duolingo teaches you new languages. It really helped me get a basic grasp of the German language. You should check your library. I only recently found out my library has a contract with Rosetta Stone where I only need a library card to use the app. I can also switch to any of the languages available if I choose to. It blew my mind when I found out, since I was just about to consider buying a subscription. Calculator, Texas Instruments would like a word. I have a T calculator, but my phone is so much more convenient. Too Good To Go, it's an app that restaurants use to put up food that'll just go to waste for mega cheap from the original price. I got a huge tub of gourmet sushi for £3 down from about £30 to £40. It's amazing and it saves the planet. I guess this is only a European thing? I don't see it in the App Store in the US, iOS. I believe the US has strict laws so they can't do it. MyFitnessPal. Game changer for me and my husband. Delayed it in January. 242-day streak and I've lost 48 pounds. Tunity, I think only America, I could be wrong. Listen to any TV that is muted at the bar, casino, hotel, etc. works beautifully. Guitar tuner. I can't live without it. Such a game changer. I remember being much younger fiddling with those tiny electronic tuners that were super easy to lose and had cell batteries which always needed replacement. Vectornator. It's an extremely powerful vector drawing app for iPhone and iPad. As a designer, it's so wonderful to be able to work on my projects whenever and with about the same usability as Adobe Illustrator. Bonus points because you can easily save in multiple file formats including I and JPEG to the cloud. Photomath. It doesn't solve the actual difficult questions. I scanned a calculus question and they said that feature was coming soon. It's kinda hilarious that technology has reached capabilities of scanning a mathematical equation and actually solving it in most cases, and we get upset when doesn't understand. Libby, coupled with your local library card. E-books and audiobooks, delivered right to your phone or tablet. Also, Libby/Overdrive kicks Hoopla's butt. Hoopla has more bugs than an old hollow piece of log, all trails. If you like adventure and hiking, this app tells you where a ton of hiking trails are in your area or anywhere you want to look up. It has over 50,000 trails around the world. It tells you how many miles the trail is, how difficult it is, the elevation gain, etc. There are pictures of the trails and users can leave reviews/experiences on the trail. You can get driving directions to the trailhead. It also provides a map of the trail itself, and you can use jeeps on the trail, if you prefer, so you don't get lost. It also tells you if the trails are dog-friendly. For mountain biking, Trailforks is similarly awesome and free. For climbing, Mountain Project will give you a map of all the climbing routes in your area and everything you will need. Discord, I can stay in touch with my friends while playing games with them and whatnot. Duolingo, and my podcast app. Looks like you missed your Korean lesson. You know what happens now. Backdoor camera triggered / Door Thuds, Foodicate. It's an app that gives you all the nutritional details on food and grades them based off of what's in them. Really great app for people trying to eat healthier. I am from the Netherlands and the app is not available in my country. Does anyone know any other app similar to this? It sounds so interesting. I always look up the health benefits of food, so an app would make that much easier. Math. Type in or take a picture of the math problem and it'll solve it for you, plus give you steps in how to do it. Google Maps. Honestly, it's a lifesaver. Believe me, it's infinitely more profitable as free. Yep, they track where you go based on your information and sell that to companies for marketing. No such thing as a free lunch. Skeptical, YouTube vanced. Seriously, got this a week ago and have no idea why I didn't earlier. One of my favorite things is you can turn videos to audio only and or lock the screen, useful for podcasts on that aren't posted on major podcast apps. I have tried for more than 6 months to get this thing to work on my phone. I have tried everything. I do everything in order, removing all Google apps that are related, then reinstalling. But nothing shows up. No icon nor anything to open. It shows it's installed, but I can't ever open it. Skeptical edit, this has been the most help I've gotten this entire time. 11 people all gave me good advice. Thanks so much everyone. Clue. Best period tracker ever. No stupid pink flowers, condescending shit about becoming pregnant and constant ads. Thank you. I've been using Flow, and if my period is off by a couple days it starts sending me notifications about being pregnant, which makes me so anxious I get sick, which makes me think I'm pregnant even more, which makes you stress out, which will delaying your period more, which makes you think you're pregnant. If you are into TV shows and don't watch everything on your own Netflix, then TV Time is an amazing app to keep track of everything. Just Watch is great for searching all streaming services. Another vote for Just Watch. So nice to be able to do a quick search and see what sites a show or movie is available on. VLC and Flood. Love VLC. Trello, like holy shit, it makes tracking life so much easier. It's used by companies and dev teams for project tracking, but it's really simple lists of cards. I got my wife on board when we were planning our wedding, and she kept everything in her head. Now either of us can look at the board and catch up on what's going on. It's also a good workflow for keeping up with lots of stuff in flight or to do. It's a digital version of using post-it notes on a wall, which is handy if you're, say, at the grocery store and need to pull up the grocery cart. But I am a huge nerd for documentation and planning. I swear I would go crazy by now trying to keep up with everything and forgetting important stuff like house repairs. It being free is fantastic. When Atlassian bought it they limited it to 10 boards, but that's still more than plenty. You get pretty much all the features with the free version, limited to one integration, but most aren't useful for personal anyway. WabbitEmu, it's an emulator for Android for any Texas Instruments graphing calculator. You can add the software from anything from a TI-83 Basic to a TI-89 Plus CE. The best part is that the UI is a picture of the actual calculator, so all hotkeys and shortcuts you learn for your concrete T work on the app as well, not to mention everything is exactly where you think it is. The app has the same capabilities as the actual calculator too. To my knowledge, everything in app is 100% free too. There may be a pro version somewhere that removes the extremely occasional ad. I read that backwards and thought you could run Android on a T-graphing calculator for a second there lol. Non-native English speaker here. Genuinely asking a question. Greater than it's an emulator for Android for any Texas Instruments graphing calculator. This statement has two for implying two different meanings, hence a reader can read this statement either way. How can this statement be rewritten to convey the meaning more precisely? Specifically, is there any preposition/conjunction that can replace the for? Snapseed is great for editing photos. Hinajag till system et? Roughly translates to can I make it to the liquor store? In Sweden liquor stores are owned by the government and close quite early to control alcohol consumption. Which in my opinion is great. But can be annoying when you've forgotten to get a pack of beer for that weekend's hangout. So the app uses your current location to find the closest liquor store and calculates if you can make it in time before closing by checking how long it takes via car or walking. Simple, but saves you the time of manually checking each store in your city. Smile. Modern problems require modern solutions.